A Gardener's Guide to Sharp Gardening. Gardening by Kathy Gardner. Each morning this month, I have driven past a property with a fabulous, absolutely fabulous agave. Each morning, I notice its growth. It is in a beautiful location in front of a stone wall and Cortex steel sign. The contrast of colour and texture is delightful. It brings a smile to my face every time I pass. For a couple of weeks, I drove in a different direction. But bang! Just recently, I saw it in all its floral glory. The agave I'm talking about is a foxtail agave, or Agave attenuata. It produces a flower only once in its lifetime after 10 to 20 years, and then it dies. But wow, it is worth the wait. The flowers are yellow, merging into green up the spire that can grow up to 3 metres high. The plant itself can reach a height of 1 metre, depending on its growing conditions. A tapered spire erupts that is so tall that the plant cannot support its weight, so it bends like a fox's tail, hence the name. They are best grown under trees as they do not like frost or strong sun. I think this particular one loves the warmth of the stone wall. The agave plant over time will grow a trunk or thick stalk. Keep an eye on this stalk for small flowers or pups. They may also cluster around the base of the rosette of leaves. These are baby agaves. To propagate this plant, these can be snapped off and planted into coarse potting mix. Do not overwater. Wait until roots develop and then transplant into larger pots. Sharp gardening is something to consider when replanning your garden with spring quickly approaching. This year, I'm going to concentrate on growing artichokes. I usually dabble with a single or a pair of plants, but this year I am mass planting. I'm being bold. There are 2 types of artichokes I can choose from, but I am concentrating on the glorious purple-green heads of the globe artichoke, with its equally fabulous grey serrated leaves. The globe artichoke is a member of the thistle family, and the flower bud is eaten. The Jerusalem artichoke, which is a member of the sunflower family, and the tuber is the edible part. They provide food for the table, but they are also attractive plants for the garden. They give great height to an aspect and are best planted at the rear of the bed. They can grow up to 1 metre in both height and width. They are very hardy and perennial, meaning they die back into the ground each year. The flowers of the globe artichoke can be purple, bronze or green, depending on the variety. Artichokes like a sunny spot in the garden with lots of space around them. They like raised beds and rich, well-drained soil. So mulch them well and add compost to the bed when planting. They do well in Warrandyte. They can produce up to 6 beautiful flowers in their first year and more in the following year. You can grow them from seeds, but I usually purchase seedlings in pots as I am impatient. The flowers appear in early spring and continue through into summer. You can plant artichokes now until November, but protect them from frost. I don't usually pick the flowers, but let them dry on the plant, or sometimes use them for floral decorations. Another beautiful, slow-growing, sharp plant, but worth the wait, is the Gymea lily. Sharp gardening to the max in height and architectural magnificence. Their leaves grow up to 1.5 metres and the dramatic towering flower spike can reach 5 metres high. Such a stunning plant will be the talking point of any garden. They like well-drained soil and full sun to part shade. They will also need room to grow. They are tough plants that will survive harsh conditions. They may not flower every year. Mine haven't flowered at all, but I love the structure of the leaves against the softness of grasses and natives. Cactuses and succulents may not be your cup of tea, but they also have a place in the garden. Make sure you plant them in areas where you will not get snagged or scratched when out weeding, but they are definitely worth having in the garden. Maybe plant in an elevated pot to give them some prominence in the garden. Sharp gardening can also be the sharp leaves of bearded irises, flax, cordelines or red-hot pokers, nephovia and pineapple lilies, which are all flowering now. It can be the sharp leaves of daffodils and jonquils, which are also in flower in August. or the pointed Tuscan-looking conifers like the ones lining the drive at Olivigna, or the spiny branches on a berberis. The sharp lines of shards of rock projecting out of the garden, or obelisks that support jasmine and other soft climbers. The contrast of the sharp and soft adds interest to the garden. Yuccas are also flowering now. Sharp upright leaves form a dense mass, and the flower head erupts from the leaves in a soft cloud of white flowers. In summer, the echiums will also be a great addition to the garden. Again, they love the Warrandyte soil. Sharp 40-centimetre long bright purple flowers stand tall in the garden, bursting out of grey-green clusters of leaves. Sharp gardening isn't always scary. Risking bare skin and unguarded gloved hands to cuts and stabbings doesn't always result in blood. Sharps can also be soft, but they add interest to the garden or will add drama to a bare corner. Get out there in the garden over the coming month. Plant some shrubs and, if need be, plant them in giant pots that you can move around the garden. And, unlike me, always keep your eyes on the road when driving past fabulous plants. Pull over, take photos, and meet the neighbours.